This is a very important question. We learn a lot of things from this question. We have two plates of charge density sigma and minus sigma and surface area each of A. Till a distance of d1, there is a material of dielectric constant k1, and over here there is a material of dielectric constant k2. Now we need to find out what is the potential difference between the two plates, the energy stored in the two dielectrics, and the total capacitance of this system. Now let us solve the first part. By the concept of dielectrics, just remember the most simple definition or method. The electric field, if there was no dielectric, was equal to sigma upon epsilon 0, and the direction of electric field is from positive charge to negative charge. Now what happens when a dielectric is introduced? When a dielectric of dielectric constant, suppose K, is introduced throughout this area, then what will happen is that the electric field will be reduced by a factor of K. So simply the electric field will become sigma upon K epsilon 0. So by applying this logic in the above given question, this was a material K1, this is sigma, this minus sigma, this is K1 and this is K2. The electric field in this region is sigma upon K1 epsilon 0. The electric field in this region will be sigma upon K2 epsilon 0. So the potential difference Vs1 minus Vs2 will be equal to sigma upon K1 epsilon 0 into d1, since this is d1 and this is d2, that is equal to the electric field into the distance, plus sigma upon K2 epsilon 0 into d2. This is the reduction in potential, and as we know, if we go in the direction of electric field, the potential reduces. So while going from here to here, the potential reduces by this much, that is E into d, and while going from here to here, the potential reduces by this much, that is again E into d, that is the potential over here into the distance travelled. So we know the value of Vs1 minus Vs2 to be equal to sigma d1 upon k1 epsilon 0 plus sigma d2 upon k2 epsilon 0. This is our answer to the first part. Now we need to find out the energy stored in the two dielectrics. So for finding out the energy stored in the two dielectrics, there is a simple formula. The energy density in this region will be equal to half epsilon naught epsilon r into E square. Here epsilon r is nothing else but the dielectric constant of the medium. E is the electric field in the medium. This gives you the energy density in a particular region with electric field E. So let us write the energy in K1. In K1 dielectric, this will be equal to half epsilon naught into K1, that is ER is equal to K1, into electric field whole square, that is equal to sigma upon K1 epsilon 0 whole square. Similarly, energy, once again this is the energy density, we will have to multiply it by the volume to get the energy stored in this dielectric, that is equal to A into d1. This is the volume. Energy density into volume gives us the energy stored in the K1 dielectric. Now similarly we can write the energy in K2 dielectric to be equal to energy K2 is equal to half epsilon 0 K2 into sigma upon K2 epsilon 0, simply by replacing K2 over here in this equation, and d1 by d2 whole square into A d2. So let us write the answers clearly over here. Vs1 by minus Vs2 comes out to be equal to sigma d1 upon K1 epsilon 0 plus sigma d2 upon K2 epsilon 0. This comes out to be equal to, here as we get it, epsilon naught K1 upon 2 sigma upon K1 epsilon 0 whole square into A d1, and similarly for K2 we can get it by replacing K1 by K2. So now we need to find out the third part, that is the capacitance of this system. Now we always remember just one formula for the capacitance. So the only formula you should always use is the total capacitance of a system is equal to the total charge on the two plates. Suppose this is Q, this is minus Q, then the capacitance will be equal to, and the potential over here is V1 and the potential over here is V2, then the capacitance of this system will be equal to Q upon V1 minus V2. that is the total charge upon the potential difference between the two plates. So for this system also we write it in a similar fashion. The capacitance will be equal to, that is the resultant capacitance, this will be equal to sigma into A, this is the total charge, upon the potential difference, that is Vs1 minus Vs2. So this comes out to be equal to, let me write this as C. C is equal to sigma A upon Vs1 minus Vs2, this becomes equal to sigma A upon Vs1 minus Vs2, we have already found out, this is equal to sigma D1 upon K1 epsilon 0 plus sigma D2 upon K2 epsilon 0. Now 1 upon C comes out to be equal to sigma D1 upon K1 epsilon 0 plus sigma D2 upon K2 epsilon 0 upon sigma A. This is equal to D1 upon K1 epsilon naught into A plus D2 upon K2 epsilon 0 A. So we've got a final answer for capacitance already here, but I'm just showing this to remind you of one more thing. One thing you should have noticed, that 1 upon C is coming out to be equal to D1 upon K1 epsilon naught A plus D2 upon K2 epsilon naught A. We already know that when we had a capacitor and with a dielectric field here with K, the capacitance of the capacitor C nu comes out to be equal to epsilon naught Ka upon D. This K is the dielectric, so this becomes epsilon naught Ka upon D. So what we see here is that we know that there is a potential at this point also developed. So this system acts like one capacitance and this system acts like another capacitor, and these two capacitors are in series, because if they would have been in parallel, they should have a common potential, but since they both of them do not have a common potential, these two are in series, and this we see as the formula for resultant capacitance when the two capacitances are in series. So we could have directly found out the capacitance using this formula also. We could have treated this as one capacitor of epsilon naught K1A upon D in series with epsilon naught K2A upon D. This system is equivalent to this system, and we could have used this to find out the resultant capacitance by the formula 1 upon C is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2. Another thing you can note down over here is that the answer to the B part could have been also found out more easily. The total energy stored in the two dielectrics is always equal to the total energy stored in this capacitor, that is equal to total charge on the capacitor whole square upon 2 times C. Now this is equal to sigma A whole square, that is the total charge whole square, upon 2 times into 1 upon C. 1 upon C is equal to D1 upon K1 epsilon naught A plus D2 upon K2 epsilon naught A. This becomes equal to sigma A whole square upon 2 into D1 upon K1 epsilon naught A plus D2 upon K2 epsilon naught A. This is the total energy stored in the two dielectrics using the formula for energy of a capacitor, that is equal to half of C equivalent into V square. You could have used this also. This is the potential difference across the two plates, or you could have used total charge whole square upon 2C. Both these formulas are applicable. We used Q square upon 2C to find out the total energy stored in the capacitor, that is equal to total energy stored in the two dielectrics, that comes out to be equal to this. And as we can check, this is equal to this plus the charge on the plus the energy stored in the second dielectric. You can check it out. This comes out to be equal to this plus the energy in the second dielectric. So we see here that the questions on capacitance and dielectrics can be solved in various methods, but you just have to keep in mind the fundamentals and use the best methods to solve the question.